From Nipsey Hussle's unsettling photo with a fan just moments before his murder.
What's up, it's your boy Steve83, and we're back with another react. You know what I'm saying? Today, we're reacting to 15 disturbing photos of legends in the rap game before they passed. It's right here. Make sure you go in and type, show Rap Feeling some love. He's the one who made all this. I'm just reacting to it. Don't kill the messenger. These people crazy.
To another rapper predicting his own death. These are some of the most haunting last photos of rap legends ever. Starting with Big L.
Check it out, y'all. This Big L Coleon representing DITC Flamboyant Records. And when I'm in Croatia, I'm checking out Top DJ Mag. You know what I mean?
Now, who's the greatest rapper of all time? The debate never really ends. It goes from barbershops and street corners to online threads with the same names always coming up. You've got the living legends, Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem, K-Dot, and the ones we lost too soon, Biggie, Pac, Big Pun, and usually closing out that list, Big L. Now, if you've never heard about Big L, allow us to put you onto the legend that doesn't get nearly enough love, and how the game cut his time way too short. Born Lamont Coleman in Harlem on May 30th, 19...
What are you talking about, the game? Or what are you talking about, the game, the rap dude? Let's get into it.
1974. Big L was one of NYC's coldest lyricists and a rare Harlem MC in the 90s rap scene, rolling with the Bronx-based Diggin' in the Crates crew alongside Fat Joe and Lord Finesse. He caught the attention of East Coast hip-hop heads. But when DITC started...
Y'all boys is way too young for that, probably. I remember this. Digging in the creek.
Drifting apart in the mid-90s, L built his own squad, Children of the Corn, linking up with Cameron Mays, Herb McGruff, and Bloodshed. And by the late 90s, they were gaining a ton of traction. Big L's first album, Lifestyles of DePoy and Dangerous, put him on the map. But it didn't really blow up like it should have. It dropped in '95 under Columbia Records. But with heavy hitters like Wu-Tang and Nas running the charts, it only landed at number 149 on the US Billboard 200. And that's wild considering the album had big-name collabs with Kid Capri, Lord Finesse, Jay-Z, and more. Lord Finesse, who produced a lot of that album, later said Columbia kind of played L dirty. He believed the label put all their focus on Nas-O-Matic and left Big L out in the cold. And maybe Finesse was onto something here, cause after dropping his first album, L just dipped from Columbia and started his own label, Flamboyant Records. He was already grinding on his second album, The Big Picture, and was even in talks to sign with Jay-Z and Dame Dash's Rockefeller Records before tragedy struck. On February 15th, 1999, Big L was killed in a drive-by, shot 9 times in the face and chest near his Harlem block. Police thought his childhood friend, Gerard Woodley, might have been involved, thinking it was payback for something L's brother had done. But Woodley was released, and the case still remains a mystery to this day. The eerie part? L kinda saw it coming. In his track, Casualties of a Dice Game, he rapped,
I watched all of them run for their share, and all I can do was stare. I got weak and fell on my rear. Now I can hear the sirens. That means here comes the Jakes. But it's too late. I'm knocking on the pearly gates.
Years later, Donald Finazzi, who knew L, explained what might have led to his murder.
Hey, it might not have rhymed very well, but it was definitely a foresight into his future.
He said there was drama involving L's brother, Big Lee, who had gone upstate for 5 years. Apparently, Big Lee had beef with the wrong people, and since they couldn't get to him, they decided Big L would pay for his brother's sins. This was the last known photo of him with his crew. You can see him in that fitted gray cap in the back, and just days after that photo was taken, he was killed. Big L was only 24 years old.
What? Damn,
so DMX, I know that you're, relatively new to, at least to us. So,
to the label.
So
not my dog's bite.
To the game, though.
So how long have you been in it?
I've been flowing for like 13, 14 years.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm only 26, so I just was doing it, you know what I'm saying? And not even thinking about getting on, just doing it because I love doing it.
I never seen DMX dance. I ain't a dancing nigga, just move to the beat, shit now in my head, but don't move my feet.
He don't dance, but he move around a lot.
Yeah, I'm a grooving type of nigga. Now, you know, every time.
Let me tell you why he moves around a lot. Look at me. I cannot stand still. It is an addict's forte. You can restless leg syndrome is a thing. Now I'm your favorite drug addict, reactor, whatever you want to call me. But it is what it is. He can't stand still because he's an addict. He's been an addict.
DMX really needs no introduction. He blew up in the late 90s, becoming one of rap's biggest stars almost overnight. He gave the world bangers like Party Up and X Gon' Give It To You. And between 1998 and 2003, he made history, dropping 5 back-to-back #1 albums, something no other rapper had ever done at that time. He would take his talents to Hollywood, starring in hit movies like Romeo Must Die and Cradle to the Grave. But while DMX dominated in music and film,
those were some good flicks, bro. If you ever get to see those movies, watch them. I know they on VHS, they ain't got good resolution, but sit down and watch them. It ain't about what it is, it's about the experience, bro.
his personal life
DMX,
was
if you ain't ever experienced him, it's a whole different experience. DMX ain't even like a person. It's like he's an experience. Just an experience.
filled with problems. Financial,
Do your homework on
legal, a
experience.
lifelong battle with addiction. Despite making millions off his music, DMX's money problems weren't a secret.
You like that
Between
pipe?
2010 and 15, he earned over $2.3 million. But by 2013, he filed for bankruptcy, saying he had only $50,000 in
I bet you that crack man was loving X, bro. Loving him.
assets, while owing over $1 million in debts. The courts denied his claim, leaving him stuck with what he owed. A big part of his financial struggle came from having a lot of kids with different women, all relying on him for support. He married his childhood sweetheart, Tashara Simmons, in 1999, and they had 4 kids together before divorcing in 2014. But during that marriage, DMX had several affairs, leading to some more children. And in total, he would father 15 kids from 9 different women.
Wow.
Damn.
15 kids? 15. He was a real dog, man. This boy had a litter of kids, yo.
2017, he pled guilty to tax fraud after dodging $1.7 million in taxes and was sentenced to a year in prison. Even after his release in 2019, he still owed over $2.3 million to the IRS. And by 2020, they were still coming after him and his ex-wife for unpaid taxes. On the other hand, his problems with addiction followed him for most of his life. In 2016, he was found unconscious in a hotel parking lot in Yonkers, New York. He'd OD'd and wasn't breathing when police arrived. Medics had revived him using Narcan, a drug that reverses opioid overdoses.
Now listen, guys, this is a serious topic, and I've been around the game for a long time, man. I've been through many and many overdoses. I've been through all kinds of stuff. One day we will get to a story time with Stevie. But right now, it ain't for that. I'm just letting you know that addiction is a serious thing. If you're struggling with it, whether it be addiction, whether it be a gambling addiction, whatever it is, man, get some help. There is help out there. People will help. Just get some help. It took me 30 years to try to figure out that I can't do it alone. 30 years. I started being an addict at 13 years old. Do your homework on teenage addicts.
No drugs were found at the scene, though, but a witness did claim he'd taken something before collapsing. DMX later said it was an asthma attack, but many people didn't believe that.
What the fuck? An asthma attack put you OD? And they can't argue it was an OD now. Let me tell you something, man. Let's get to the facts. The facts. An OD, you cannot prove. People can say they didn't OD all they want to freaking say they didn't OD. But if Narcan brought you back, you OD'd.
That. And over the years, he would check into rehab multiple times, even canceling tour dates in 2017 to focus on getting clean. In a 2020 interview with Talib Kweli, DMX revealed that his addiction started when he was just 14. He said his rap mentor, a guy nearly twice his age, tricked him into smoking a joint laced with crack. And from that moment on, drugs became his way of dealing with pain, a battle he fought until the very end. On April 2nd, 2021, at around 11 p.m., DMX reportedly had a heart attack at his home and was rushed to White Plains Hospital in New York. He was in critical condition, and early reports suggested that the heart attack may have been caused by a drug overdose. That night,
That That boy in there blazing.
Things would get even worse. DMX suffered cerebral hypoxia, meaning his brain wasn't getting enough oxygen. Paramedics tried to bring him back, but it wasn't looking good. His former manager, Nakia Walker, later revealed that he was in a vegetative state with lung and brain failure and no signs of brain activity. And sadly, on April 9th,
rest in peace for my brother. Let's have a moment of silence for DMX. One day, man, we'll be there. DMX, my dog's bite.
9th, 2021. DMX's death was officially confirmed. This was the last video of him taken by his wife, just days before his overdose.
He look healthy.
I'm going to rule the world, or I'm going to change the world. But I guarantee that I will spark the
Here comes a living legend. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with, well, it's got to do with music, but this boy right here, that boy right there changed my life. Like, I don't want to say this like I was in the big time gangbanging or whatever. I wasn't into that big time gangbanging, but he influenced my life a lot.
brain that will change the world.
September 7th, 1996. 29-year-old photographer Leonard Jefferson traveled to Las Vegas to attend a Mike Tyson fight. Unfortunately, he missed seeing Mike Tyson, but he did spot Tupac in a BMW sedan with shiny rims. Jefferson asked if he could quickly take a photo, to which Tupac agreed. But little did anyone know that this iconic photo would turn out to be Tupac's last, as he was
took that photo. What? Then they mopped it. What?
tragically shot and killed less than a half an hour later.
Dang.
The story of his death, however, didn't begin that night. It would start with a failed attempt on his life 2 years prior, when Tupac Shakur was shot and seriously wounded during a robbery attack by two armed men in the lobby of a Midtown Manhattan office building that housed a recording studio where he'd been working on his third album, Me Against the World. Shakur attributed that attack to producer Sean Puff Daddy Combs and rival rapper Christopher Wallace, aka the Notorious B.I.G. This would be a main reason why he joined the LA-based record label Death Row Records, igniting the infamous East-West Coast battle that pretty much defined the hip-hop scene in the mid-90s. Unfortunately, it also played a role in his eventual murder. On the night of the incident, the photographer Jefferson stepped out to the driveway to go get something to eat when he spotted Tupac in his whip. Surprisingly, he had known Tupac from his time as a student at UCLA Film School. They both exchanged pleasantries and had a brief conversation. What Jefferson didn't know was that Tupac had just been involved in a disastrous altercation before their meeting. Also coming down to watch the Tyson-Selden boxing match, Shakur and others in his entourage were captured on tape in the lobby of the MGM Grand Hotel, engaging in a violent scuffle with a man, later identified as a member of the LA-based Crips street gang. Tupac was captured punching this dude to the ground, almost beating him unconscious. Had it not been for hotel security, Tupac then went back to his room, changed, and headed to Club 662 to perform at a charity concert. Now, if you look at this photo, Tupac seated in the passenger side of the vehicle driven by Marion Suge Knight, the head of Death Row Records. Barely 20 minutes after that photo was taken, a white four-door late-model Cadillac pulls up beside their car. The shooter seated at the back of that Cadillac rolls down the window and rapidly fired from a 40 S&W Glock 22 at Shakur's BMW. Shakur was hit 4 times, 2 in the chest, 1 in the arm, and 1 in the thigh, with a bullet piercing his right lung as well. Fragments would also hit Knight in the head. Yet he was able to drive almost a mile away from the scene to Las Vegas Boulevard, where paramedics attended to him. A few days later, sadly, it was announced that Tupac had died of his injury.
I remember that, man. When that happened, like, it wasn't quite as bad as when Elvis did, but Tupac passing away hurt the world, bro.
Eazy-E, born Eric Wright, wasn't just a rapper. He was a whole movement. Known as one of the godfathers of gangsta rap, his impact on the game is legendary. Way back in the 80s, he co-founded Ruthless Records alongside Arabian Prince, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, and Ice Cube. And together they built one of the most iconic rap groups of all time, NWA, standing for Niggas with Attitudes. Their debut time, NWA, standing for Niggas with Attitudes. Their debut album, Straight Outta Compton, shook up the industry, changing hip-hop forever and putting West Coast rap on the map. But like a lot of great things, NWA didn't last. The toxicity behind this would be Jerry Heller stepping in as their manager, making things really messy. According to Dr. Dre, Heller played the divide and conquer game. Instead of looking out for everyone, he focused on one person, Eazy. And after some really nasty feud behind closed doors, Eazy was forced to release some talents and Dr. Dre from the label, disbanding NWA. Of course, that didn't mean the drama was over. Dre and Eazy kept that beef alive, dissing each other on tracks for a while, but that's a story for another day. Fast forward to February 24th, 1995. Eazy was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in LA with a serious cough. And what doctors found shocked everyone, HIV/AIDS. And keep in mind, at that time, there wasn't a lot of health awareness on HIV, so it was hard to kind of even open up about it. Nonetheless, Eazy did, because on March 16th, he made a heartbreaking announcement to the public, revealing that diagnosis. And the word is he likely caught it from his sexual partner. By the week of March 20th, knowing his time was running out, Eazy made peace with...
You know, if a doctor comes up and tells you, right, listen, dude, you've been out too much in the world, bro. You got HIV. You're not just telling him. You're telling him, his wife, his children, his side piece, any other thing he's got going on.
With Cube and wrote one final message to his fans. And on March 26, 1995, just a month after his diagnosis, Eazy-E passed away at only 30 years old, though some reports at the time claimed that he was 31 due to a mix-up with his birth year. These were at the time claimed that he was 31 due to a mix-up with his birth year. These were the last photos of Eazy in the studio with his homies before he passed, and one thing that had folks talking was how slim he looked. Now, we all know Eazy was a straight-up hustler, dude barely slept, always grinded, and some people just believe that the HIV was already breaking him down from the inside, even before he knew it. And the crazy part is that NWA...
You could be living right now with a disease that ain't gonna touch you for 25 years. Like, you might not even know.
It was already moving towards a reunion.
Get it when you're 50.
Just imagine if that actually happened. That would have flipped the rap game upside down. A full NWA comeback. Man, hip-hop today might have looked completely different. That's one of those what-if moments we'll never get an answer to. This right here is the infamous last photo of Notorious B.I.G. chilling with P. Diddy at a party the night he died.
See, now listen. This is something that just hit me in the head, right? That's 2 bodies P. Diddy done been locked up in. Tied up in, right? 2 of them. And that boy's still doing the parties? You think Biggie went to the party?
Died. And this is a video of Biggie getting into a vehicle just 20 minutes before he was gunned down in a ruthless drive-by. Born Christopher George Wallace on May 21st, 1972, Biggie Smalls wasn't just a rapper. He was the face of East Coast gangsta rap. Debuting in 1994 with Ready to Die, going multi-platinum, and having fueled the already heated rivalry between East and West Coast, especially with Tupac. Biggie's lyrics weren't just for show. This guy was rapping about...
Jumped off the porch at 12. Listen to these fools, man. These fools got me in... Look at you. You got me in so much trouble.
A life he actually lived. Coming up in Hard Knock, Brooklyn, this guy had plenty of run-ins with the law. Even after making it big, trouble still followed him. In '96, he'd be arrested after cops found guns and weed in his New Jersey home. And at one point, he even went after some fans.
And see, that's another thing y'all YNs and youngsters are doing, y'all hoppers out here. Y'all allowed to smoke weed, man. Back in the day, we was going to jail for this stuff. We had to fight with the cops for selling crack, heroin, and weed too. Shit, y'all get off lucky.
Ends with a baseball bat. Biggie was as real as they come, an OG to the core. But sadly, his death was the tragic climax of the East v West rap war. On March 8th, 1997, Biggie hit up a Soul Train Awards after-party at the Peterson Automotive Museum in LA. But the party gets shut down early due to overcrowding. So Biggie and his crew bounce, rolling out in 2 GMC Suburbans.
Got the
And as
bird.
they're stopped at a traffic light, a black Chevy Impala pulls up beside them. That's when things get ugly. The driver, an unknown black man in a blue suit and bow tie, rolls down his window, pulls out a 9mm pistol, and unloads into Biggie's SUV. 4 bullets hit him, and his team rush him to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Doctors try to save him, but it's too late. To this day, Biggie's murder remains unsolved. Now, some
I ain't know the motherfucker had a bow tie, though. A bow tie? Man. They killed Biggie in a bow tie? Come on, man. They booked Biggie in a bow tie? Come on, man.
say Suge Knight, the boss of Death Row, and Tupac's label, set up the hit as payback for Pac's murder in Vegas. Others think it was the Crips. But we're never going to know the truth. What we do know, though, is that Suge himself has been locked up since 2018 for a fatal hit and run. Biggie was only 24 years old when he died, but his legacy, that lives on forever.
What makes us different, period, is that
Oh man, they bringing the girl. I forgot about her.
Left Eye sounds like Left Eye, and Chili sounds like Chili.
I'm sorry.
Chili sound
God,
different
forgive me. I forgot about her.
It's like you have
girls,
3 different
any
artists
people that
together.
I've heard, we have our own sound. So no matter what kind of music you put to it, the sound is still ours.
Man, I've seen so many amazing things from some of the unknown hip-hop artists that people never get a chance to see.
Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Lefty.
Where do I even begin? Left Eye was the firecracker of the female group TLC. With hits like No Scrubs, Waterfalls, and Unpretty, TLC dominated the charts,
They did.
selling over 15.6
They definitely did their thing, man.
million albums in the US alone. Their 1999 album, Fan Mail, debuted at number 1, and the trio became the second biggest selling female R&B group of the last 2 decades. That meant that Left Eye wasn't just a rapper. She was TLC's creative force. She had the most co-writing credits, designed their wild stage outfits, and even helped shape their entire visual style. She was bold, outspoken, and always unpredictable.
Dang, Rap
And
Dilla
yeah,
doing
she
your
was
thing.
no
Boy,
stranger to
videos are
controversy
fire.
either. She made headlines for burning down a mansion she shared with her boyfriend, Andre Ricin, also feuding with her bandmates and even disappearing mid-press conference in 2000, only to retreat to Honduras for some soul-searching. In 2002, after her solo album Supernova flopped, she returned to Honduras again, bringing friends along to fast, run wild in waterfalls, and work on building a youth camp for kids. But things take a chilling turn just days before her tragic death. While riding in a car with her assistant, Stephanie Patterson, they accidentally strike a young boy, Aaron Esau Fuentes Lopez, who had stepped into the road. Lopez was shaken, especially since they shared the same last name, and she said she felt like a spirit was haunting her after that moment. And maybe it was, because just days later, on April 25th, 2002, while driving her SUV in La Ceiba, Honduras, she swerves to avoid another vehicle, loses control, hits 2 trees, and rolled over a bunch of times before landing in a ditch. She was thrown from that car and died instantly from severe head trauma. The other passengers survived. This is the chilling footage from that final ride.
Yo, right back at you. Footage for days. Style, Champ Town, chilling with Big Pun. Congratulations, man. First solo Latin rapper to go platinum. What's up with that? Tell me about it. Y'all had a platinum party yet? What's up?
Like 3-4 of them already, man. We have one
3 or
week. We
4.
need 3,000 people outside. We throw another one next week. We need 5,000 outside. We throw them every week, man.
That was the last interview of Bronx rapper Big Pun, weeks before his fatal death. During his short but massive career, everything about Big Pun was larger than life, from his heavyweight bars to his heavyweight frame. This guy's big break came in '95 when he linked up with rapper-producer Fat Joe, who immediately saw his talent and put him on the track Watch Out. The two built a strong friendship together and a good working relationship. And Pun, inspired by a comic book character, rebranded himself as Big Punisher. He would join Terror Squad, the Latino rap crew rolling with Fat Joe, and with Joe's help, locked in a deal with Loud Records. By 1997, Big Pun was making serious noise in the game. His first hit, I'm Not a Player, takes off, climbing the charts and peaking at number 3.
I'm not a player,
Then came his debut album, Capital Punishment, in '98, which takes over the R&B and hip-hop album charts, earning him collaborations with rap legends like Wyclef Jean and Busta Rhymes. The album sells over 2 million copies, making Pun
what?
hip-hop album charts,
Look at that big dude.
earning him
That big muff. Man, that boy is wider than the
collaborations with rap legends like Wyclef Jean and Busta Rhymes. The album sells over 2 million copies, making Pun the first Latino rapper to go platinum. Almost overnight, he becomes a hero in the Puerto Rican community, always repping his roots in his lyrics, and even draping himself in the Puerto Rican flag at times. But while his fame did skyrocket, so did his weight. At around 400 pounds when Capital Punishment dropped, Pun kept gaining as success kept rolling. Fat Joe was even worried about his health and told him to attend the Duke University's diet program in 1999, where he did manage to drop 80 pounds, but the weight didn't really stay off for too long. He gained it all back and then some, making even the simplest tasks a challenge. Still, his talent was undeniable. This guy kept delivering fire verses, and even landed a feature on Feelin' So Good with Jennifer Lopez and Fat Joe. He was set to perform a song on Saturday Night Live on February 5th, 2000, but had to cancel because he wasn't feeling well. At the time, Pun, his wife, and their kids were staying in a hotel in White Plains, New York, while their Bronx home was under renovation. On February 7th, tragedy struck. Pun started struggling to breathe and collapsed in his room. His wife dialed 911, but the paramedics couldn't revive him. At just 28 years old, Big Pun passed away from heart failure, weighing nearly 700 pounds. The hip-hop and Latino communities mourned hard. Thousands of fans gathered in the Bronx for his wake, and the legendary graffiti crew, TATS Crew, paints a massive mural in his honor. Celebrities would also pay tribute. Jennifer Lopez called him a source of pride for the Latin community, a great artist and a great person. Fat Joe tells the New York Times, I lost a brother. 2 months after his death, Pun's second album, Yeah Baby, dropped. Packed with his signature rapid-fire flow and Latin cultural nods. The album shoots up to number 3 in the charts and tops the R&B hip-hop album list. The following year, his compilation album, Endangered Species, also did some numbers, serving as a final salute to a rap legend whose time was cut way too short.
Well-known rapper introduced